Hey guys, what's up? It's Kezin. We're back with another video. We're going to be talking about Shaman Clicky items, and dear Lord, there is a lot of them. I'm going to try to make this as quick and painless as I can, and we'll just start in Classic and work our way down. If you like my content, please make sure to like the video, and also please subscribe. If you see anything I missed, just let me know on Discord, and I'll be happy to add it if it's an item that's worth adding. So, first item we have here is J boots. You don't really need these as a shaman since you're going to get a better option in Kunark. But if you do want to pick these up, you can. You also get Sal as a shaman, so I just threw these on here just because I have them on every class. Next we have Regent, Symbol of Rook. Only shaman trolls can wear this item, and it's going to give you a right-click snare effect. It's like a really light snare. It's not like a powerful one or anything, but it's a good quest to do if you are a shaman troll. Shawl of the Immaculate is right-click Cure Disease, instant cast. This is really nice for curing diseases quickly. This is a good pickup for sure on Shaman. Vermilion Skyring is going to give you 2 charges of Feigned Death, and you can actually recharge this using like a mana battery. So it's a pretty decent item to have for Shaman. It might save you from dying at some point. Next we have Kunark. This is going to be the item that's better than J boots. This is a right-click instant cast Sao, and it comes from the Shaman 1.0 epic. You're going to get it like maybe halfway through the quest or so. Defender of the Faithful Heart. You don't really need this, but it is a Shaman clicky, so I'm going to pick it up. Or I put it in here. It gives you a right-click Primal Essence, which will give you any target you cast it on, including level 1s, 20 to every stat. You already get this spell, I believe, or something real similar to it as a Shaman, so you don't really need this, but I figured I'd put it on here anyway. Earring of Cleansing and Earring of Purity. Oh, I don't have the Purity link working. I got to fix that. One of them is Counteract Poison, and the other one is Counteract Disease. And they both have a 5-second cast time, and they both come from the same mob in Charduck. So you can pick these up. These are really good. And I'll make sure to get that link fixed. Fungus Covered Great Staff. You can get the post-nerf or the pre-nerf. Since you're a Shaman, you can use the post-nerf one. It's going to give you a right-click 15 HP regen, so it's a nice item to pick up. Jade. John Dice, I don't know if I said that right. Kunark class set. So basically the class set, every single item in the class set for the Shaman is pretty decent. The Bracer is going to give you a right-click direct damage. The Breastplate is going to give you a Bramble Coat. The Boots will give you an agility buff. The Arms will give you a Strength buff. The Helm will give you a Charisma buff. The Greaves will give you a Stamina buff. And the hands... the gauntlets will give you a dexterity buff. So you can get like all the different buffs from this set. And they're pretty good items in Era anyway. So you can pick all those up. Ring of Stealthy Travel is a right-click 2-second self-only invis. So that's a nice little pickup there. This item is tradable too. So you can get it from another player. Shrunken Goblin Skull Earrings is right-click. Basically good against the spell mobs. So you can pick this up against the spell raid bosses. Spear of Fate is your 1.0 epic. This is going to give you a damage over time spell that's going to increase in damage every tick as further time goes. So that during the end of the dot, it's going to do the most damage. Moving on to Vilius, we have the Flowers of Functionality. These are optional. They'll give you a right-click 50 to resist to every school, depending on which flower you have. And some of the route flowers, collecting the cards for these are really, really rare. But this is something you can pick up if you want some resists. Polymorph Wand Force Fairy is going to be a right-click Levitate buff. This is completely optional. I don't know if it comes out in Vilius or not. It might not come out until later, but keep your eye open for it on the store. It comes from the Daybreak store under the Illusion section for 750 points. The Wolf Collar set is one of the class sets in Vilius. The Breastplate is going to give you a Stamina buff. The legs will give you Abolish Disease. And it has 11-second cast time, so if you get Shield of the Immaculate, you really don't need the legs. But they do have good stats on them anyway. And the boots will give you a agility buff. And also, I want to note that you can get these from any of like the quest hubs type of thing, depending on your faction. And also, there's a breastplate with the same effect that drops off of Tune Air as well. Moving on to Lucklin, we have Amulet of Pure Heart. This is a right-click Counteract Poison with an 8-second cast time. Arm Guard of Piety is a right-click Abolish Poison. This is even better. It only has a 5-second cast time. So if you can get this one, this is the best one for that. Two Inspire Shard is just a kind of like a toy, I guess, but you can port to the Dreadlands with it, and it's a self-only gate, so that's a nice little clicky there. Bone of Bird Toxilus. This is going to give you a right-click disease dot. It's not very strong, I don't believe, but if you want to pick this up, you can. Circle of Smoke is a right-click gate belt. I recommend getting this for anyone who can wear it. It's really nice not having to memorize gate. I use this all the time. Crimson Ring of Judgment is going to give you 250 mana in the form of an AA. It increases your maximum mana pool. Hoop of Emptiness is going to give you a way to dispel mobs. It does two either buffs or debuffs. It might be either or, I'm not sure. But definitely at least buffs. And you can pick, it only has a 5-second cast time. So it's a pretty good earring to get. Gloves of Warding is going to completely optional here. It's going to give you resistance to magic. This is like a good alternative, maybe if you don't have like the flowers from Plane of Mischief or something like that. Jade Skull Ring. This is a right-click annual magic, and this has a 7.5-second cast time, so it's not quite as good. But you can pick this up as another dispel option. Pendant of Melossini is going to give you a Melossini Clicky with a 5-second cast time. Mages and Shaman can wear this. So that's a really nice item here. Ring of Immobilization is a right-click root with a 2-second cast time. You're going to have some other root options from a Clicky later in Planes of Power, but if you want to pick this one up, you can, but I would probably maybe let other classes have this. Like, it might be a really good tool for like a cleric or something, since they usually don't have enough spell slots to keep a root up unless they're specifically looking to root something. But it's a good emergency item. Shawl of Awakening. This is going to give you a right-click 5 mana regen in the form of an AA. You can pick that one up. Talisman of the Burrower is the similar to Shawl of the Awakenings, but this one is only 2 mana regen instead of 5, and they don't stack. So if you can't get the Shawl, which is from the Emperor, you can get this Talisman as well as a backup. Torque of the Wormlord. Shaman's going to wear this, so I threw it on here, but it's probably best for maybe a warrior. It's going to give you 300 plus 300 to health, and it's on the Brells line. So, you know, if you want to pick this up, you can, but probably best to let like a tank use it or someone who will get more use out of it. Umbrecite Swarm Orb. This is a right-click. I believe it's a group shrink. Yeah, it's a group shrink. And this comes from Vexthal. This is definitely a big pickup for a Shaman. Really nice to have. Bangle of Disease Warding. It's just a right-click instant cast. Resist disease. You don't have to get this, but you can pick it up if you want. Black Flame Sphere is a right-click remove greater curse. This is nice to have in some situations, but isn't like super necessary nowadays. But I would recommend picking this up if you have the opportunity. Celestial Cloak will give you plus 5 mana regen in the form of an AA, similar to the item from the Emperor. So you can pick this one up if you want. Eye of Dreams is plus 400 to max mana in the form of an AA. You can pick this up if you need some extra mana. Shaw of Eternal Forces is going to give you 8 mana regen in the form of an AA. It has some hit point regen on it too, which is, you know, good for a Shaman, I suppose. But the main thing you're looking for here is the 8 mana regen. Prismatic Ring of Resistance is a good item overall because it has really good stats for Shamans. And it also will give you a right-click resist clicky and AC clicky in the form of an AA. Putrid Chunk of Moss is going to give you a right-click agility buff. You don't really have to get this, but it's just like a good little toy to have. And it's Shaman only, so I threw it on here. Rosrax Greaves of the Primal. This is going to give you right-click Pox of Burtox, which is a pretty good Shaman dot. So you can pick these up if you can. These are basically just the elemental legs. The Scaled Avatar set is the Ornate set for Planes of Power. The breastplate's really good. It's going to give you Swift like the Wind, so it's going to give you like a haste clicky. And the legs will give you right-click Root. Now this is a 3-second cast time, but it's greater Immobilize, where the ring from Vexthal is just regular Immobilize. So this one's overall probably slightly better. And this is Shaman only, so this is probably going to be what you're going to end up having in most cases for root legs. So those are both good pickups there. Shield of Striding, I would say, is a must-have. It's an instant cast, self-only Levitation. I definitely want to pick this up. It comes from Khazad-dûl 2.0 once that gets released along with Planes of Power. times antithesis. This is basically the best Shaman Clicky in the game that you can get for a long time. It's going to give you a right-click slow, triggers insects. So you definitely want to pick this one up. One of the Vortex is just another dispel option. Comes from Planet Time. It will do 2 buffs, maybe debuffs. I'm not really sure. I haven't really tested it. And lastly, Lost Dungeons of Norath. This one's just a toy basically as well. It's going to give you a right-click stamina buff that you can cast on people with a 3-second cast time, which is pretty solid. But that's it for Eldon. And there is another Eldon item I didn't mention. It's kind of similar to... Where is it at here? It's in Avelius, Luckland. Similar to this Talisman of the Burrower right here. It's going to give you 2 mana regen. There's an item from Eldon that does that. But by the time you're in Eldon, you likely already have some other form of AA mana regen. So I didn't include it. But anyways, that's pretty much everything. Please make sure to like the video. And also, please subscribe. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.